Alright, so I saw the Tyrone Woodley Jake Paul fight, and I see a lot of people trying to say this is a big L for MMA. But really, in this case, I would say it's just on Woodley. Woodley was a great fighter before. He's even a great fighter now, and he was a good boxer. But the problem was the same problem that he had in his last MMA fights, where he's been fighting like he's been winning the entire time. Like, after he won his MMA championship, I think it was around that time where he started fighting with this confidence. And confidence is good, but you can't use that so much that it's going to hurt you where you fight like you're already up on points for the entire round. And you could tell this is how he was fighting if you just look at it, knowing that that's what he does. Like, he had chances to finish Jake Paul and didn't. He had so many chances to attack in those openings, but he didn't. He even was confident, putting his hands on everything. He was showing good ring control. He just thought that he was ahead the entire fight, which is not how you win fights when you're not ahead. It just doesn't work like that. And for some reason, now, at this point in his career, he thinks that's how it works, and he's not going to change. I wouldn't count this as an L for MMA, especially with that, considering that, and that's how he lost his last, 3 or 4 MMA fights, almost lost the rest of them probably. We have seen him do this, and it didn't work for them, and that's why he didn't go back to MMA anymore. It's not going to work. And on top of that, Jake Paul being a good boxer, I wouldn't say that yet in the world of professionals. He would definitely be good for an amateur, but I feel like Woodley definitely showed some holes there in his game. If he fights Masvidal, like they're going to do in the back and forth thing, I would definitely bet on Masvidal, because Masvidal is the opposite of Tyrone Woodley now, where he had that same mentality that Woodley had, and he just stopped it. He stopped it and then started flipping on his head and said, I'm going to start finishing people. Masvidal wasn't champion then, so he really had to start doing that. Woodley became champion, and so he didn't have to. He was already at the peak. Now that that's not an option for his opponent, if he fights Masvidal, I think that'll be a good fight, and I think Masvidal can, get the knockout. Obviously, we got to give Jake Paul his little bit of respect, because he did fight, he did win, put some money in Woodley's pocket, the most he ever made. And, they had a whole boxing event. I didn't see the other matches. I just saw the final fight. I also didn't pay for it. I can't say it was worth the money, because I didn't pay for it. I didn't want my money back after it, even though I didn't pay for it. But it was still worth, the watch, as frustrating as it was, watching someone that can obviously finish the fight not want to finish the fight. But yeah, I wanted to give my quick thoughts on that. It's not even a long video. Let me know what y'all think, if y'all see it, if y'all saw the fight, if y'all liked it, what y'all thought about the fight, and Jake Paul, and who he might fight next. I think he might fight Masvidal next. He doesn't want to fight any actual boxers. He called out Canelo after everything happened, I think people are saying, and that's not happening. There's as much of a chance of me fighting him as him fighting Canelo. And we're also different ways, just like Canelo and him and me and him. That's just how much it isn't happening. So Masvidal is the same weight, at least, as Woodley was. Maybe a few more pounds than Woodley. Maybe a few more, but they're not that far in size. Jake Paul is pretty big, but I think he would probably fight Masvidal next. That's just looking like the next fight with them doing it back and forth. Masvidal could use a payday. Why not? But yeah, that's all for me. Y'all have a good one.